So, good morning and assalamu alaikum. So, I am Samini Akilan. I am the member of Group 4.
So, our topic assigned is the Scriben Consumer-Oriented Evaluation. Okay, let's start. Scriben Consumer-Oriented Evaluation. Michael Scriben in 1967 introduced this evaluation among many others. When education product flooded the market, consumer education products which are needed to support and implement curriculum often use of consumer-oriented evaluation. So, these products are used in school which are require purchasing decision. So, Scriben Consumer-Oriented Evaluations, inintroduce ito ni Michael Scriben noong 1967. So, si Michael Consumer, isa rin siyang philosopher and isa rin siyang evaluation theorist. Kaya, inintroduce niya itong Scriben Consumer-Oriented Evaluation, kaya ginawa nito. So, Scriben Consumer-Oriented Evaluations, it's all about uh, it's all about evaluation approach na kung saan para malaman ng mga consumers o yung mamimili. So sino ba yung mga consumer? Sino ba yung gumagamit nito? So like gumagamit nito is yung mga teachers, yun yung mga consumer, yung mga gumagamit, mga teachers, student, school administrator, and so on. So um, ginagamit nila ito or ini-evaluate nila ito para malaman ng mga consumers kung effective ba, kung usefulness ba sa atin or sa kanila yung materials na ginagamit nila. And also tinitingnan ba kung suitable ba para sa mga student yung mga materials na ginagamit natin. And also tinitingnan dito kung educational materials ba is maganda ba yung kalidad. And also tinitingnan dito kung effective ba, kung suitable ba para sa mga student, kung effective ba para sa mga teachers kung paano nila ituturo effectively. So, this product include textbooks, module, educational technology like softwares and other instructional materials. So uh, ito yung mga materials na kailangan nilang i-evaluate or and kung ano pa yung materials and iba pang mga materials na kailangan pa nilang evaluate. So, even the teacher and school themselves nowadays write and produce these materials for their own purposes. So kahit na yung mga teachers, yung mga school is gumagamit na sila or gumagamit din sila ng iba't ibang mga materials. Gumagawa na sila ng iba't ibang materials for own then purposes. So we need to evaluate this. So, consumer-oriented evaluation uses criteria and checklists as tools for either formative or summative evaluation purpose. The use of criteria checklist was proposed by Scriben for adoptions by educational evaluators. So, Scriben consumer-oriented evaluation use the criteria and checklist to evaluate the materials. So, to evaluate the materials is gumagamit sila ng mga criteria, checklist for tools, either formative or summative evaluation purposes. So, formative evaluations, in-evaluate ito habang ginagawa pa to improve the materials. Or, summative evaluation naman is is to make for final decision kung pwede na bang gamitin or hindi pa yung materials na gagamitin mo. So we have the instructional materials review to evaluate the materials. So we have the preliminary informations, recommendations. So sa preliminary information, meron tayong title, author, publisher, copyright date, materials evaluator. So sa title naman, for example, yan naman yung yung titles, yan yung title ng materials na ginagamit mo. So let's say ang materials na ginagamit mo is College Advanced Algebra. So yun yung title niya. So sa author naman, kung sino yung nagsulat sino yung nagsulat ng materials na ginagamit niyo, yung College Algebra. So, sa publisher, kung sino yung nag-publish, tao man yan or company, so, copyright date, sa copyright date, kung kailan ito ginawa, kailan ito sinulat. So, materials evaluator, so yung materials evaluator, ito yung tayo, kung sino ba yung evaluator nila. So, we have the recommendations, we have the retained for the review, kung i-reject ba yung yung materials na ginagamit mo or hindi. So, we have the criteria, we have the 16. So, number 1, content covers a significant portion of the competencies. So, dapat, doon sa materials na gagamitin natin as a teachers, so dapat nandun din dapat yung dapat matutunan ng student, dapat matutunan ng mga bata. For example, sa modules na gagamitin natin, yung materials na gagamitin, dapat andun lahat yung dapat matutunan ng bata. For example, sa module, so di pa sa modules meron doon is addition, subtraction lang. So, dapat, nandoon din dapat yung mga multiplication, divisions, mga fractions, mga polynomials, dapat nandoon dapat yung matutunan ng bata sa criteria, sa materials na gagamitin mo. And number 2, content are up to date. So, dapat, bago yung materials mo, dapat relevant, are up to date. So, hindi yung materials na gagamitin mo is pang 1990s na. So, dapat bago, relevant para sa mga student yung materials na gagamitin mo. So, number 3, reading level is appropriate for the most student who will use the materials. So dapat align yung materials mo, align yung ability ng bata, align yung ability ng student. For example, yung student mo is grade 7, tapos yung materials na gagamitin mo is pang college, pang grade 1, yung pang drawing lang. So, dapat yung materials mo align lang sa ability ng bata. So, hindi yung materials na gagamitin mo is pang college. So, hindi mas mahirapan sila doon. And also, yung materials na gagamitin mo naman is pang grade 1, mas madalian naman sila doon. So, dapat suitable lang sa bata. Dapat align lang siya sa ability, kakayahan ng bata, yung student. So, number 1, we have the intended learning outcomes, competencies it's intended. So, dapat naka-stated yung materials na dapat naka-stated yung intended learning outcomes ng bata, yung student. So yun nga, dapat stated. So ito yung pinakamahalaga, yung intended learning outcomes ng bata. Dapat naka-include din. So, yung dapat naka-include doon sa materials mo. For example, intended learning the student will be able to understand. So, dapat nandoon yun. Dapat nandoon yung intended learning outcomes ng bata. So, we have the number 5, formative and summative assessment are included. So yun nga, it's very important to measure the learning of the student. So formative and summative assessment. So formative assessment, like ito yung mga quizzes, exam, oral recitations. So to measure of the ability of the student. So while the summative assessment, ito naman yung mga final quarter, so exams, final exams, SEM, so yun. So, dapat naka-include ito sila because it's very important for the parts of the learning of the student. So, we have the number 6, activities barred or meet needs to for the student. So, dapat ma-meet ng mga student yung mga iba't ibang yung mga activities. So, like yung so dapat ma-meet ng mga student yung mga activities, like for example, like sa mga group work, drawing, activity rule, and write task. So dapat andoon yung mga yan. So and iba't ibang mga materials. So dapat andun na so dapat align yung mga activity na binibigay mo sa mga student. So Number 7 here, the teacher guide include management suggestions and also guided for the teacher kung paano sila magtuturo effectively, paano nila ituturo yung mga lessons, and how to handle the activity and so on. So number 8 here is the materials are represented to logical order. So dapat naka-logical order yung mga materials na gagamitin mo. Hindi yung sa una is mahirap and then pagka naman, pagka doon hindi yun nga, hindi sa una is mahirap. So dapat hindi sa una mahirap tapos sa last naman is mas madali. So dapat naka-logical order siya. For example sa math, for example sa math. So dapat hindi ka muna magbigay ng mga multiplication kaagad. So dapat for example dapat naka-logical, dapat mauna ka muna sa addition, subtraction, multiplications. So dapat and then sa pinakamahirap na. Yun. So dapat naka-logical order siya. Yung mga content, yung content na gagamitin mo, yung mga materials na gagamitin mo. So we have the number 9, learning outcomes, competencies, or the task. So sa learning outcomes, dapat align dapat yung competencies kung ano dapat yung ma-develop ng bata after the discussion. Example, kung ang goal is makapagsulat, dapat kung ang intended learning outcomes ng bata, intended learning outcomes mo. So for example, student will be able to for example is kung ang goal mo is makapagsulat, so dapat yung ise mo dapat yung kwan mo is dapat yung goal mo is makapagsulat ng ise. So dapat yung task mo dapat ano ba yun? So dapat yung task mo is ise, hindi pang drawing lang. So yun yung ibig sabihin na learning outcomes, competencies, task. So we have the number 10, the degree of match between learning activities and intended learning outcomes. So example, kung ang goal ng students is will be able to understand how to solve a math problem. So dapat yung activity mo is solving solving exercise, hindi yung goal mo ano ba yun? Hindi yung goal mo is makapag-drawing. So dapat mag-match siya. So dapat mag-match yung learning activities and learning intended learning outcomes mo. So dapat yun. So yun nga. So dapat how to solve a math. So hindi yung mga coloring, mga drawing. So yun. So dapat mag-match siya. Mag-match yung learning activities and intended learning outcomes. So we have the number 11, the quality of tests and degree of match with intended learning outcomes. So number 11, so dapat quality of the text dapat match with intended learning outcomes. Example, the lesson is about the critical thinking. So kailangan yung exam mo is easy, situational. Hindi dapat yung mga true or false. So dapat align. Example, kung tinuturo mo is easy, dapat easy din yung mga test mo, hindi yung mga multiple choice. So yon. So we have the number 12, the quality of direction on how student will approach through the materials, through the materials. So number 12, so dapat malinaw, dapat yung mga instructional, dapat hindi malilito yung mga student kung ano yung sunod nilang gawin. So kung ano yung sunod nilang gawin sa mga activity, kung paano nila maka-come up yung mga student ni hindi sila mapag-iwanan. So So we have the number 13. So we have the number 13. Quality of drawing, photograph, or other materials. So, dapat quality. Dapat quality. Kailangan malinaw para mas ma-visualize ng mga student like mga drawing, mga photographs, and other materials. So, number 14, overall design of the learning activities full for individual instructions. So, materials kailangan is so dapat yung materials kailangan yung kaya lang ng mga student, yung mga activity. So, dapat clear instructions. Example, sa module. So, sa module, dapat clear instructions siya. May mga examples para mas mapadali yung learnings ng mga bata kahit wala yung student. So, yun. So, we have the number 15. 15. Quality of management procedure for the teachers. So, example, tips sa mga teachers. So, dapat doon sa criteria. So, dapat nandun sa materials na ginagamit mo. So, example, tips sa mga teachers on how to handle the student, how to teach effectively using the materials. So, yun. So, number 16, optional. This course map competencies covered by instructional materials. So, parang isa lang siyang optional, pwedeng gamitin or pwedeng hindi. So, isa lang siyang optional list na kung saan nililista mo lang yung mga competencies na na-cover ng instructional materials mo. So, titignan mo kung specific skills ba na dapat matutunan ng student at yung specific skills tinitingnan mo kung anong specific skills na natutunan ng student base sa module or lessons mo. So, tinatawag itong siyang course map dahil naka-align ito siya sa curriculum guided or sa depth and competencies. So, we have the simple way of curriculum evaluation process. For every simple and critical way of curriculum evaluation, responding of the following questions will be provide an evaluation data for curriculum decisions. So, now, simple way of curriculum evaluation approach, it is a way of curriculum evaluation process. Evaluate na kung saan effective ba yung curriculum na ginagamit sa mga school, and also tinitingnan dito kung natututo ba yung mga student, maayos ba yung pagtuturo ng mga teacher, and naabot ba ng student yung intended learning outcomes. So we have 10 questions. If say no of curriculum, it means kailangan pang i-review yung curriculum or baguhin. So first question here, does the curriculum emphasize learning outcomes? So, kumbaga, nakakamit ba ng mga student yung mga learning or knowledge na dapat matutunan ng student after the lesson or subject? Example, and the student learning outcome is the student will be able to understand how to speak effectively. So, dapat yung mga activities mo is essay, like mga essay, writing, and oral recitations. So, dapat align yung learning outcomes and activities mo, like assessment. So, number 2, so sorry po, sobrang lakas po kasi ng ulan. So, number 2, those that implemented the curriculum require less demands. So, ibig sabihin, kung ang curriculum ba ay hindi ba sobrang mahirap or mabigat sa mga para sa mga teachers or mga student. For example, 'di ba? Kung grade 1 students is binibigyan mo kagad ng napakahirap na research activity. So, may possible na masyadong mas demanding yung curriculum. 'Di ba? 'Di ba? Kapag sobrang dami ng requirements at activities, so maaring mahirapan yung mga students, mawala ng mga motivations para matuto. So, number 3 is can this curriculum be applied to any particular level? So, can this curriculum ba? So, tinitingnan din daw kung akma ba o kung suitable ba yung curriculum sa levels ng learners tulad ng kindergarten, elementary, secondary, or college. So, example, 'di ba? Sa paggamit ng mga simple pictures at games, yung mga bagay na sa mga kindergarten learners, so dapat
dapat naayon or suitable yung curriculum sa edad o ability or understanding ng mga student. So, and number 4, can the curriculum aspect be assessed as a written, taught, support, tested, and learners? So, number 4 is, number 4, so, number 4 naman, so, ano? So, ini-evaluate kung ang curriculum ba ay naisulat or naisulat ba ng maayos or nagawan ba or naituro ba ng tama. From the word taught, naituro ba ng tama or support. Kumbaga, may sapat ba ito ng mga support materials? So, nasukad ba or taste, nasukad ba sa mga learners? Taste at tunay natutunan ba ng mga student yung curriculum ba na ginamit mo. Examples, may mga lesson plan yung mga teacher na gumagamit ng mga visual aids, so nagbibigay ng quiz at nakikita ito sa mga performance ng mga student o natututo ba sila o hindi. So number 5, the curriculum include formative assessment. So number 5 here is, sa formative assessment kasi is ginagawa ito habang nag-aaral pa. Like for example, mga quizzes, recitation, seat work, and classroom activities. So, by the way, nakakatulong o nakaka-help ito sa mga para malaman ng mga teacher kung naintindihan ba ng mga student yung mga lessons, yung mga lesson bago ba yung mga final exam. So, yon. So, number 6, the curriculum include summative assessment. So, from the word summative assessments is ito yung pagkatapos ng lesson. So parang after the quarter. So, after the quarter, all the unit. Para ma-measure yung kabuuan o natutunan ng mga student. For example, sa quarterly exam, final project, o final examination. So, by the way, ginagamit ito para malaman o ma-measures kung na-achieve ba ng mga students yung mga learning outcomes. So, another one, number 7, the curriculum provide quantitative methods assessment. So, number 8 here is, from the word qualitative, here is, kumbaga, qualitative assessments is, kumbaga, nakafocus siya number 7 pala is ano ba yun? Number 7, kumbaga, quantitative, kumbaga, from the word quantitative is, gumagamit ba sila ng mga numbers, like for example, yung mga test scores, percentage, ranking grades. So, sa madaling salita, is, mini-measure ito yung performance ng mga student gamit yung mga numerical, yung mga numbers. So, yan yung tinatawag natin na quantitative assessment. And another one, number 8, the curriculum provide qualitative method of assessment. So from the word qualitative assessment is, kumbaga, nakafocus siya sa observations o qualitative observation of the performance of the student. So, halimbawa, teacher observations is reflection, paper interview, and portfolio. So, that example of qualitative assessment. And let us proceed to our number 9. Number 9 here is, can the curriculum provide the data needed for decision making? So, number 9 here is, kumbaga, ini-evaluate dito kung may sapat bang information para makagawa ng tamang decision ng school? For example, kung mababa yung test result ng students, so maaring baguhin ng school yung teaching strategies, kung paano sila kung paano sila magtuturo, kung paano nila ituro yung mga nilalaman nila, kung paano nila ituro sa mga student. So from the word this is, kumbaga, ang evaluation result is, kumbaga, ginagamit nila para ma-improve yung curriculum at teaching process nila. So, number 10, here is are the finding of evaluation available to stakeholders? Kumbaga, tinitingnan kung ang resulta ng evaluation is naibabahagi ba o naibibigay ba sa mga stakeholders, like from the word stakeholders, yung mga like sa example, yung mga teachers, yung mga principal, yung mga student. Example, 'di ba, nagbibigay yung mga school ng report card at curriculum evaluation report para sa mga parents and mga teachers. So it's very important yung communications para malaman ng mga stakeholder kung effective ba yung curriculum at kung ano ang dapat pagbutihin. Parang overall summary, parang ganon. So yun lang po at maraming salamat.